Fires out west, hurricanes, floods down south, both big retirement meccas and both good reminders to be careful where you choose to spend your golden years. The warning from Dani Babb. Danielle is a real estate investor and author of Finding Foreclosures. Danielle, be careful, I guess, right?
Yeah, be careful. No area is impervious to Mother Nature, but certainly you can move to areas that have less risk. And
like
that's generally what we advise people to do. For example, Seattle has great weather, has low risk of earthquakes. We have Scottsdale, Arizona, that other than having an occasional thunderstorm and dry weather in the winter and the summertime, it's a great area to move. And then also we have the whole area, the whole state of Colorado. The altitude can be a bit high, but there's a lot of outdoor activities and really fairly free from risk from Mother Nature.
All right, well, the first two of those examples are super hot markets even now. And I guess Seattle owing to all the technology and internet companies there that keep the price of real estate very high. So it isn't going to be easy for folks to retire there, right?
Well, it's a lot easier than it was in the early 2000s. We had a lot of people taking their money to South America because they were getting tax incentives and moving out of the country entirely. Certainly, the prices have dropped since the early 2000s. So
yeah,
there is.
I know the price thing, but Danielle, why bet on storms and hurricanes and mudslides? I mean, they're improbable. Anything can happen, right? I mean, we didn't think we would be dealing with tornadoes in the Northeast, and a couple of weeks ago, Brooklyn got one. So what do you do?
Yeah. Well, what you do is you make sure your insurance policy will cover everything. Part of the problem we're having with the landslides in Southern California, we've seen it in Malibu, we've seen it in Laguna Beach, and now in La Jolla, is that the insurance companies had a clause in there to keep landslides specifically out of the insurance policies because the soil is so moist. So stay away from hillsides if you're going to be in California, for example. All
right, but a lot of people like to choose idyllic settings, or they like to build cabins in the woods and the trees are surrounding them, and then all of a sudden they realize they're a potential tinderbox. So what do you do? I mean, how do you seek out? Just make sure first that you can be insured for the dangers that are in your area?
Yeah, you find out what the biggest risks are. I go to the USGS.com, the Geological Services site. I check the earthquake risk, particularly in California and in on the entire West Coast. You can check that. You can check what the high risk areas are. For the literally Mother Nature risks in Google for specific areas can tell you what the biggest risks are.
What's the least risky place in America?
From my perspective, the investors I work with move to Arizona. When they are really concerned about risk, they move to Arizona.
These are all the bad places we just showed here, but the least one is Arizona?
Well, it's definitely not risk-free. No, there's no risk-free place, but it's certainly low on the risk assessment list. Yes.
But high on the temperature in the summer, Danielle. It's a beautiful state, and I love the people there. But in the summertime, it's 212 degrees. But that's okay.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, that's a problem for some people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have air conditioning, and some people choose the Pacific Northwest for that reason instead, like areas like Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's not a dry heat, I guess. All right, Danielle, very good seeing you again. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right.